Welcome to episode 481 of This Week in League. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jay.
And I'm Glenn.
Fellas, how we doing?
Fucking
Right.
spicy. It's a spicy one.
The absolute dramatics. Well, this is, part one of the two-parts fucking Spice Festival with part two coming tomorrow. But this is our regular recap episode. And let me tell you, there's opinions. But Glennie, and this is the thing, it feels like 10 years ago now. When you were telling me the story on the membersode about your son breaking his ankle playing fucking touch on.
Yeah, he didn't break it, thankfully, but
Well, it's not breaking it, sorry, giving it a fucking high grade syndesmosis.
He's moon booted himself.
He has, yes.
Yeah.
And his ankle collapsed under the weight of the pressure of fucking setting up some fat ball cut on the ring to score tries in touch football.
That's so fucking true. He actually said to me before the game, I'm putting you over, Dad. I'm going to put you over today. I'm like, mate, don't set yourself up for failure.
Next minute, which ankle was the one that he sprained again? The one closest to you.
Yeah, that's correct. Because he was stepping. He was stepping away from me.
He had to try and suck in literally 5 defenders to make enough space for you to get 10 meters.
Tell me you just instantly ran over to him and went, "Oh, that's how I did mine."
No, I was a little bit distraught.
That was honestly the first thing that came to my mind.
Not easy.
How are we gonna bush doctor this?
I was not much help. Much help at all.
I'll tell you what, I've seen some fucking wild shit. I did see, and Glennie, I can imagine how actually concerned you would be. Fucking great one a couple of weeks ago at the basketball. The kids rolled his ankle and rolled it well enough that he was in tears. And, they're 8 years old, so a stiff breeze brings them to tears. But the dad comes over. The first thing he fucking says to this poor kid is, "I told you to do your shoelaces up tighter." I'm like, fucking cunt, really? Like,
yeah, but I mean, like, he's not wrong, right?
He's
not wrong.
Look, the delivery needs work, but his point stands.
Like, it's probably not the time. It's probably not the time to deliver that message.
I don't know, man.
You can go over that one in the video.
Like, I don't think the fucking tension of the shoelaces could have been much better. But what did you say, Glennie? What were your first words?
Are you okay, mate? That was. Are you okay? Fuck, what's going on? And
he's like, "Well, fucking no."
Nah, and he was.
My fucking ankle touched the ground. I fucking rolled it so bad.
Yeah, well, he did get that out.
I fucking rolled it so hard, Shunter's life flashed before my eyes.
Yeah, exactly. The advantages of being 14 years old and your growth plates and all the rest of it still being reasonably flexible, and it was probably saved him.
So new listeners that are looking for the fucking spicy hot takes, 2 episodes a week. This week's going to be the recaps of the games, and we have our news episode and previews episode on Thursday.
So we record Wednesday, and it comes up late Wednesday, early Thursday, depending on how long it goes. And I suspect.
So just to set your expectations.
Yes.
To set your expectations.
And I had to do that. I actually did that on the Facebook group tonight as well to say, look, here's some housekeeping. Because everyone's like, oh, it's going to be a fucking 6-hour episode. Well, no, it's not. We do the recap stuff.
Might be 2-3-hour episodes.
And I know, and look, we are explicitly aware of what you want this week. You want the Tigers and you want the fucking Manly jersey thing. So it just so happens that they dovetail perfectly with their episodes, because the recap episode is the one we're doing now, and obviously that Tigers shit, that's the Tigers game. And the previews and news happen on the Wednesday episode, and it's beautiful because it just flows straight into the repercussions and the team lists and the previews. So you'll get that one tomorrow, as well as there's another couple of other stories as well that we're going to bust out in the first in that one as well, because there's some motherfuckers that are just like, holy shit, did I hit the jackpot with my shit just sailing under the fucking radar after I get absolutely flushed out of the fucking news cycle.
Yeah, that's it.
So I'm talking to you, fucking sideshow Bob. So yeah, just so you know, that's what's happening. So this one, oh yeah, we'll get to that Tigers one, and there's a lot to talk about there, and we shall do that in its place at the end of the round of the recaps. So without further ado, do you have anything else that you want to kick off with, or can we just dive into these recaps?
Let's do it. Let's dive in.
Okay, round 19.
Let's dive in with the efficiency and the quality of dive of Kyle Felt.
And the lack of integrity
Well,
of a Kyle Felt. Who's, spoiler alert, pretty much eradicated any goodwill that he had from me for fucking defeating the Broncos in the 2015 grand final. Now, we kicked off round 19 with Thursday night's game where the Brisbane Broncos 36 defeated the Parramatta Eels 14 in Parramatta, and the Broncos had a double to Corey Oates. Reynolds, Haas, Ricky and Capewell also with tries. Reynolds 6 conversions from as many attempts. The Eels 14 came through a double to Micah Sivo, a try to Wanga Blake, and 1 conversion from 3 attempts to Mitchell Moses, potentially the star signing for the West Tigers in the Benji era.
look, I thought Payne Haas's return for the Broncos was massive for them. I think some of the forwards took some of the, some momentum from him returning to the side. He had a solid game himself, scored a great try. And it's clear how important he is to the Broncos and that forward pack. And then when you've got the platform that he lays, the way that he inspires his teammates to go along with him, and then you've got Reynolds pulling the strings off the back of that. They're a formidable side, Brisbane, when they're on. And in contrast, just one point on Payne Haas. I wonder if he'll be booed at home next time around. He's now that he's back again, whether they'll keep up the fucking booing after his contract situation, or whether all will be forgiven, given how he's played here.
I thought it would have stopped already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually stunned it went more than that one time where they sort of had their little tanty and
exactly.
Yeah, I thought they would have got it out of the system, but the way the Broncos play, but also the Eels. A lot's been said about their chances and the drought that the teams had, the clubs had in terms of grand finals and stuff, and how they've come reasonably close but not quite got over the to that next level. Fuck me this year, the amount of stern challenge that you need to put in front of them in the early stages of the game to fold them is getting less and less. Week in, week out. Parramatta generally are associated with this fantasy premiership window. It's closing of their own accord. They are literally nailing it shut themselves.
And that's it. And it's not closing and they do have players departing at the end of the season. But it's closing before those players go on their form. They don't look like a football team, and you summed it up perfectly, Glennie. Brisbane are a team that utilise what they've got. They don't go out there and try and play a Melbourne Storm style of football or anything like that. They're playing to the strengths they have. They have some very big and mobile front rowers. They have some incredibly skillful, edge forwards, and their back has fucking pace and strength in equal measure. And they use field position to do it. It's a fucking very simple blueprint, but Parramatta don't seem to use what they have. They've like, do you remember when they had it was like a 2-try game minimum, like absolute fucking minimum. It was just just get it out to the wing. There you go. Fucking see you later. 80 meters,
slick as you like. Yeah,
like Micah was just an absolute fucking weapon, and they ran plays for him. Because he turned into that sort of player, like so many other teams have, that demanded so much defensive attention.
Well, it was very easy because he slotted into their historic set play, which was formerly pass it to Semi.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's fit into them, and it just became pass it to Sivo. It was very easy for them to understand and integrate.
But then even Moses on the right side with the short side plays. Like one of the better short side playing halves in the competition. But yeah, now I don't know what's going on over there. It's a fucking mystery.
Yeah, and you would think this is the time now, coming out of the Origin period, where they would start. And Nate, you mentioned it last week that it's the time where you'd expect teams to, the good teams, to start ramping up for the finals campaign and putting their best foot forward. Parrot just looked way off the pace in this game.
Yeah. Yeah,
certainly did.
Woefully so. And look, on one hand, I am kind of cognizant. I mean, last season was a kind of a unicorn of a season. The players were teams were in camp together in resorts and all that sort of stuff. But they had this sort of period last year. It was around this time last year when they were up at Sunshine Coast against Manly and got flogged by 50. And they still ended up making a very good showing of themselves, in the finals themselves when the time came.
They did.
So I'm not ruling them out from lifting as the important games come. But again, they're not in the same position as they were this time last year either. I mean, they were in the top 4 all of last season until they dropped out.
They're currently 7th.
Yeah.
3-2 in their last 5, and they've got Penrith next.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only thing really going for them, I think, is the fact that there are teams around them that can be scored on. There are teams around them that are very beatable, and you've got teams like the Dragons who, are currently probably punching above being where they are at the moment, and you've got the Storm who are on this fucking monumental slide, and who knows where that ends.
Yeah.
But
you also have the Rabbitohs who are on the up.
Rabbitohs are on the up for sure, so they'll haul them in, no problem. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
if you're looking at teams
top 4's out of the reach.
The Rabbitohs are a much scarier proposition than the Eels at the moment.
Yeah, based on Latrell Mitchell alone.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What do we got for socials for that? Michael in the Facebook group, he said, "Did you see Gutho show no urgency to save the Ricky try, only to give it to Sivo, who was sprinting to save it?" No, I can't say I did notice that, but fuck me.
It doesn't surprise me, though.
Honestly, Gutho and Moses getting trampled or missing tackles or whatever it's somewhat of a drug to Mel.
Sitting on his ass with doing the fucking
Robbie Farah.
Jesus fucking.
What a wonderful meme template that became.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Already. Tremendous.
Ryan, he said, if Adam Reynolds doesn't get Dally M Coach of the Year, the whole NRL is a sham. Hayden said, "Hey Parramatta, it's that time of year again. Need I remind you, you will be shitting the bed every game till the regular season ends." Chewy, he said, "I want to have Corey Oates seed in and around my mouth. I fucking love him, so happy he's back in form. Any Bronco fan that doesn't like him can go support the Titans." Now here's my fucking question: when was he out of form?
When was he out of when has he been out of favour with the fan base though? I thought they felt
fucking massively.
No, massively.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say, and mainly his surname, but a business partner, best mate, Brad, has since his first game in fucking first grade has been on the Corey Oates train, has never got off. And his little chest puffed out and he beamed with pride when I was telling him about how Jay was saying, I don't get the hate for Corey Oates. And he's like, I don't fucking get it either. Get him on the phone. I want it to, someone fucking agrees with me.
Yeah, he's trying, I mean, like, he's using that to get fucking free drinks at the pub and stuff like that, saying he's his fucking brother or something.
Sad but true.
Direct financial benefit to Corey Oates being good again.
Matt, he said, another night where Para have played as a team of individuals. No one was hitting and sticking in defence. Forwards weren't bending the line in attack. The attack inside the 20 was predictable. The 1, 6 and 7 failed to link up. It's almost like Gutho has been schemed out of set plays. Credit to the Bronx. Man is a stud. He certainly is.
He is.
And
one of Cruzy's proteges down there from South Logan.
One of my fucking absolute favourite individuals. And I don't know how he gets away with having this username on Twitter. Acuntio. He said, tweeted at us, and he said, "Oats is integral to a good, tasty porridge." So
it's true. I mean, I don't think he fully understands the reference, but I appreciate him playing along.
I don't know. I think he does. That's what's scary.
You're not going to bust out another rendition, mate, or
no?
No, that's
it's a one-time only thing.
Yeah, look, I mean, you can't do it in more than one episode because when it comes to the, a month before the TWiLies and we're saying what's your favourite episode of the season,
yeah,
if someone says the one where that, the one where that happened, you go, okay, great, I can go to that, I know what that is. Yeah, so
That's it.
next, the St. George Illawarra Dragons 20 defeated the Mighty Manly Sea Eagles 6 and Netstrata Jubilee Stadium. The Dragons double to Ben Hunt and Fenai with the other one. Lomax 3 conversions and a penalty goal, defeating Sea Eagles with Dead to Me in the 8 jersey scoring the try and Rubes scoring the only conversion.
Oof.
Oof me.
Regan Hunt.
That's how it's going to be for the rest of the fucking time memorial.
I love it. Is Hunt leading the Dally M, you reckon?
It's still public at this point, right? So I mean,
okay.
it should. I mean, you could look it up.
Yeah, I thought that
Not waste my fucking time.
I thought they'd gone dark. Wow. Holy shit. Well,
Look, you would think so because traditionally we've said, like, you know, for example, the Melbourne Storm side are getting points cannibalised between like Hughes and Munster and Pappy and all these guys.
Yeah.
Whereas St. George are 100%. There is only one person. If they actually, even in games they lose, he's still probably accumulating points. But in games that they win, he's most certainly getting the 3 points without question.
So Ben Hunt's on 19.
he is, but that's
not enough though.
It's
then.
publicised up until round 12.
Oh really?
And he was
I
on
didn't know they
19.
shut it down that early.
He was on 19 points then.
He's probably done better since then, I would say. So he very well could be.
Well, he was leading then, and I don't think he's had many games that he's played where he's been out of the points.
What a fucking redemption year.
Oh, he would have had games out of the points. He wouldn't have had many games they won where he was out of the points.
Yeah, I suspect that given being the only contributor on that side week in, week out, even when they lose, he might get a 1.
You reckon?
Like make that sort of impact.
Yeah.
Like but then the
again,
game
say
against the
he was
Roosters
2
last
points.
week, he wouldn't have.
He was 2 points ahead of the most underrated player in history, who again would have been in the points every single fucking game.
Yeah, but this year there are players that are cannibalising his shit.
Who?
Dylan Edwards goes from 0 points to trying to grab a point here and there.
Yeah, true. Dylan Edwards is on the same amount of points as Cherry Evans. There you go.
Interesting.
Fantastic.
Jeez, you got to scroll a long way to see a Tigers player.
Who is the number one Tigers player?
I've got a fucking
as a
cramp
12,
in my
mate?
scrolling finger.
Is there one on
Dane
there?
Laurie.
Jackson. Oh, really? So I thought it might have been Hastings because, I mean, he got a lot of love during that period where you were winning games around.
Wasn't Laurie fucking injured half the year as well?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, no, there's Jacko. Jacko's got 9, my bad.
He was ahead of Laurie at that
Yeah,
point?
Laurie's only got 3. I've scrolled past Jacko.
Right.
My bad.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no, he does. Oh, look, there's
6,
Harry Grant
9,
with 9 as well.
12.
Yeah. What could have been? I bet Ado Carr's got more than 9 too. Bet Teddy's got more than 9.
Oh, fuck me, cunt.
How many's Mitchell Moses got?
Anyway, I'm sorry I
we
brought this up.
digress. We digress. The Dally M's is a whole other thing.
So, to my point,
Yes.
Ben Hunt, leader of the Dally M currently,
Yes.
despite his
Nailed
individual
down.
performances, perhaps the most important aspect of his season so far, and it's more recently, is his influence on young Amon in the 6. His past few games have been fucking outstanding.
And it's actually like, I think it's just like Ben Hunt aura on him.
Yeah.
Because he's been like good, but he's also been the only other good performer in the Dragons side. Yeah. So it's like he's got some of that Ben Hunt, the fucking sweat touched him or something, and it flicked off in the heat of the battle and landed on him.
That's true. But that's all I wanted to say about the game. I figured you'd have plenty. So
yeah, I don't have a lot to say. I mean, it's unfortunate when you get players, and this is actually a discussion I wanted to bring up too. Like as we get into the business end of the season, it's unfortunate when you lose three important players, particularly your two most important sort of middle players in terms of making all the tackles between them and never missing tackles, in Croker and Jakey Turbo to COVID. And then in a rainy, wet weather game, it came down to the fact that those guys weren't there to stop the plotters in the Dragons pack dead. And so they got the upper hand that way. And then Ben Hunt would get a good kick off at the end of that. And Manly, conversely, lost that battle in the middle. And so they were starting their sets from the fucking 5-10 metre line, every set. And when it came time to, get field position, make breaks, take advantage of field position, you had fucking I just don't want to say anything offensive, but you had people of questionable mental capability, like the dead to me 5'8" next year, who would drop the ball, knock the ball on, throw a pass into someone's head, not looking at it, and pretty much anything you can fucking imagine to fuck up all their momentum. The second half, which like the Dragons, they didn't do anything from the 21st minute to the 80th minute in the game because Manly were just fucking making tons of yardage, especially through the left. I mean, they were just treating it like an expressway. But when it came down to it, they had these idiots that they just couldn't hold the ball to take advantage of the possession. And I mean, I thought when they scored that try first in the second half, it looked like they sort of, were up and then they started making territory pretty easy. But they never converted it. And it's just crazy how much a couple of really key players can fuck aside when there's not that much depth there. I mean, Andrew Davies, a player that, like I've said that, praised his signing as like an Aldi player, like whose value is amazing and cost is minimal. The impact that he's had on the left-hand side attack over the last couple of weeks, just the way that they've set the plays up, where they've had so much success running this play with Morgan Harper basically running at the inside shoulder of his guy. And then as that guy bites, Davey sort of runs around behind Harper, and then all of a sudden you've got a 2-on-1, and Davey scored tries that way, or he set them up to whoever's out in the wing at the time, that same way. And just having whoever was replacing him positionally, I think it must have been fucking dead to me, future 5'8", and he doesn't play that way. He instead likes to fucking straighten up every time and not fucking pass it and not, and so it's just it just fucking stunts the entire thing. The only thing I enjoyed in this game was the absolute fucking balls out fucking big dick move where Manly were trying to work it out from their own end and put a kick through from their own fucking try line to catch Morgan Harper fucking running down the wing. And if it had been Jason Saab on the wing at the time, then he would have gone the length.
How is he not dead to you, winger?
I forgot. Yeah, no, it's fucking hard. I need to write a key down just so I can remember shit. Yeah, fucking dead to me number 2. And we're gonna, and there's actual levels of dead to me too that we're gonna get to. There's like dead to me, and then there's also like as dead to me as my fucking in-laws. Where they're like buried in lava, just under the ground in China. They're buried so deep, and I'll be explaining that for you all tomorrow night as well. But very disappointing performance. It was a game that really needed to be won. However, it was also a game played against a bogey team at the bogey ground where they always seem to win for whatever reason, in shit conditions, after that team had been flogged in the media all fucking week long as well. So whilst it wasn't surprising, and I did flag it in the last episode, it was still disappointing because, they had the fucking cattle to do it, but they just didn't fucking get it done.
Well said.
There you
The
go.
end.
How good. Liam said, Marty Tapau, take your 150 jersey and fuck off.
This game made me wish he found fucking Jesus. I mean, every game makes me feel like he's actually somewhat more alive to me just because he's not as dead as the other ones.
Wow.
He's like a zombie. He's in limbo. He's not dead to me, but he's not really alive to me either.
Grover, he said, any
Hashtag
chance Manly
Team
are going to
Zombie
play
Power.
footy and win this game? Anthony, big loss with a depleted side, but pretty confident that as the weeks tick on, a full-strength Manly is much more likely to make the 8 than a mediocre Dragon side.
Without a doubt.
Dairy Queen vibes. Fucking love it. Alistair said, Uncle Bully and the Asbestos Inhalers. Nah, that's not a shitty punk band from Marrickville. It's actually a fucking dog shit footy team from the Northern Beaches. Back into obscurity, you bunch of pretenders.
Oh,
Adam said, is it too late?
At the end of the season, fucker.
Adam said, is it too late for the Titans to backflip on a Manly half?
Oh,
again,
delightful.
Spoiler, I wish they fucking would.
Mark,
please.
We did ourselves no favours. We were below average. Does help, but most of the decisions went against us. The penalty count would have been 3 times the Dragons if we didn't win all the challenges. Even the missus said the umpiring was pretty shithouse tonight. She also wants me to explain how Blake Laurie can play first grade with such an anti-athletic physique.
Have a look at
Toowoomba Touch.
Have a look at Toowoomba Touch football C grade and look on the wing.
Georgie Rose won a fucking
JDHD44 on Twitter. He said, I will never understand how we can always beat Manly, but can never beat Canterbury. And we'll give the final word on that one to at Devonhead on Twitter, who said, the Queensland Joey Johns schools the Queensland Brett Kamali. It really is retro round. How good.
What an absolutely fucking ridiculous statement from a ridiculous looking human fucking bean. And when I say bean, I mean BEAN. With your fucking bald head, you orange cunt. The Knights. Sorry, the Roosters.
Yes! Go! Keep going! Fucking give it to the cunt.
Hang on, why is he orange?
Well, that you're...
I mean, you would know that if you take notice of his facial hair colour, because I mean he's been bald since you've ever known him. But,
Oh, you're saying he's a ranger? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sorry, what did you think I was saying? He was like a Protestant or something in Ireland?
No, I'm thinking he's moved to Melbourne and he's fucking now all about like spray tan life or something.
We all know he's fucking. We all know
he was like a fucking Protestant in the fucking in the troubles back in the fucking home country.
Well, you'll know he's pink, the same colour as all the other fucking pigs.
Roosters 42 defeated the Knights 12. Can you see how we're fucking starting to build to the fucking epic finale?
All I needed was someone to kick trotters. Oh, fucking on. Let's do it.
The Roosters 42 defeated the Knights 12 in Newcastle. Fuck me, they play there every week and also lose there every week, strangely. The Roosters 42 double to Joseph Suwali, double to Teddy, Kiri Tupou and Crichton Butcher also tries, 5 conversions from 8 attempts to Sam Walker. The Knights tries to Edric Lee and Phoenix Crossland. Milford 1 conversion, Ponga penalty goal.
James Tedesco is low-key putting in one of his most impressive solo seasons of his career.
Since last year.
Yeah, but last year I feel like he had to. They were so down on cattle.
Now he's just doing it for the culture this year. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying he's having an outstanding season. Fuck it, cunt. Wasn't all that long ago we're on the same side. Now all of a sudden you fucking flipped it.
Oh, shifting alliances.
Yeah, fucking bring it
sand.
on. In this game he had 3 line breaks, a try, 2 try assists and over 300 running metres. He's fucking impressive. I don't know if his will and performances are going to be enough to get the Roosters over the hump, and you know, I feel like they've dropped, ironically, a couple of pegs on where they were last year. But
I think they're starting to build again this year. Well, they've been building week
because they beat the Knights.
Well, no, you can only beat who's in front of you, but I mean, they fucked them up.
You know who wasn't in front of him?
So.
Ponga. Let's discuss. Ponga.
Oh, let's.
So, he's in the same boat as Kiri now, surely. And I don't know if Kiri's actually going to come back.
Fucking close, man.
Yeah.
Because...
Can I backtrack a second?
Yeah, sure.
Now, I say this with no, like, bowing to your fucking expertise from all of that fucking punchy cuddle shit that you watch. But it looked to me in all of those fucking replays that Ponga got clipped across the chin.
Hang on a sec.
What?
Punchy cuddle shit. That's fucking...
Well, like, you know...
Come on, man!
Feed him plenty.
Fuck. What? We're just trying to have him.
He's got a napkin tucked into his fucking collar. He's fucking just feed him. He wants it.
Well, I don't know.
It's just the fucking ignorance. It just goes to
people,
new levels.
to the people who don't understand what Stepdad's trying to say.
Anyone that doesn't understand what he's trying to say, fucking stop listening now and never listen again. Fuck me. Fuck off. You're as fucking dumb as that fucking comment is.
And I'm saying, no, isn't that? And we had this discussion briefly in a group chat, but it looked to me like he got a tiny little hit on the chin, and he's gone to take a fucking Kyle Felt, and he's fucked it up, and he smacked the back of his head on the fucking ground in all of the slow-mos. Now,
both things are correct.
Okay,
but like, I mean, yeah, he definitely did, and I mean that, and the head hitting the ground is certainly something that's going to fucking rattle your cage, especially when you're a soft shell crab like Ponga is. And but also, I mean, he did get that shot on the chin, and it's not something that's going to knock everyone out. Like, I mean, obviously, if you're fucking hard like me, it's not going to even fucking make you, step backwards. But and Glennie as well. I mean, Glennie would fucking eat it and he'd just laugh. But
I have no neck. I'm fucking built for that.
Exactly. And like, not everyone is built with the fucking Ray Mercer chin. I mean, it's just the way it is. But there are some people though, like that, the mechanism there for that shot on the jaw, if you're that way inclined, it's like a fucking off switch.
Yeah.
And
Lights
you
out.
see, and
But
you
did he
see
hit him on the
absolutely
jaw,
fucking
though?
elite level fighters. It's just fucking physiology. It's just
No,
the
but I'm
way
saying,
it
but
is
like,
for you.
did he actually get clipped on the clipped?
Yeah, he got hit right in the fucking off button.
Oh, there you go.
And
Okay.
and so if you were like, I am absolutely certain that exact same replicate that same impact, and I'm absolutely certain that it puts fucking Kiri out. It puts like Boyd Cordner out. It puts Liam Fulton out. Mick Crocker. I'm just trying to think of everyone who's with a suspect chin, and for sure. But exacerbated by the fact that then, because he did go down in a fairly unregulated, not break falling himself manner, head bounced off the ground as well, like he needed any fucking insult to injury on the whole thing. And it's got to be concerning though, because if he is the guy that shot's going to put him, half out.
Yeah.
Then I mean, it's a contact sport, and your jaw is going to get incidental contact sometimes, even when it's not penalised or a high tackle per se, just because the way that guys hit low and and slide up, even if it's not a penalisable thing. You're going to get a knee or something in the ground. When a guy comes in over the top, and there's so much incidental contact to the head that's not outright careless or otherwise malicious, that he's going to fucking cop it. Like it's just going to keep happening to him, and he's young as fuck now. So I mean, like it is worrying that he's potentially this another like a Luke Keary or like a Pappy sort of situation. I mean, I know Pappy's not out with this time with the same thing, but with a head injury this time. But I mean, he's another guy's had a long, and so do I see something that Pong is taking a while? He's taking a period of time off now before he comes back, or was that just something I had in a dream?
But if it is that, if he's got an exposed fucking shut off button,
Yes.
as I like to put it,
Yeah.
no amount of time is going to fucking fix that. It's there now.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you see a fighter that's okay, his chin's gone, and then he's like, it takes 2 years off and comes back and his chin's back. It's there or it's not.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned because the Knights they've put all their fucking eggs in that basket with a bloke that's built like a fucking egg.
Yeah.
He'll get a nice payout too, because I mean, you most certainly cannot make the argument that it's not if it's a head injury. There's no
pre-existing.
It's definitely not. It's not a medical retirement. It's guaranteed a medical retirement.
Yeah,
I can't argue it's not.
Yeah. That's it.
So yeah, look, the Knights are like, they're fucking hopeless at the moment, and with Ponga, even without Ponga out, their situation appears to be even more hopeless. And a couple of weeks ago, I thought they might have eased themselves out of that danger zone where it looked like they were kind of, after Origin, they were coming back a bit. Like Ponga had brought the confidence back with him, but that's the last 2 weeks have completely erased that.
Yeah,
and and yeah, like now they've got a little buffer on the spoon teams, but we got enough games to go where that buffer can get eroded away. And put
maybe
in danger.
they'll.
I'm not sure they're spoon contenders again. Like, I know they sat down there.
They're third. Yeah, they're third last. I mean, they got a 2-game jump, and like that's obviously predicated on I don't know how many more games the Titans and the Tigers are going to win. But they should only be 1 game ahead of the Tigers. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Maybe they'll look to the fucking worst player in the NRL. Bring him back into the fucking halves.
So hang on, let's
get manscaped by Kurt. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, stop it!
So the Titans are playing the Raiders. They're not going to beat them.
No.
The Knights are playing the Bulldogs at the moment. They're not going to beat them. And who else we got? The Titans, the Tiggies. Where are the fucking Tiggies? Oh, the Tigers are playing the Broncos. They're not going to beat them.
Well, I hope you know. West Tigers just fucking...
Yeah, okay, so the Tigers play Newcastle.
The Tigers play the
next.
Knights.
Yeah.
That's it.
So that's a big game.
The Dogs won't beat the Cowboys. The Sharks and the Dragons. That's it. So who do we think will win out of the Tigers and the Knights?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I
think that is that. I mean, really, realistically, on current performance levels, the Tigers should fucking give them a bath.
I agree wholeheartedly.
The Knights won't beat that. Then, okay, so it may come down to that game. It may come down to that game because I don't see them winning.
I think that game's an absolute must.
Oh,
for
hang
the
on.
Tigers to win.
Then the Titans play the Knights.
Oh fuck yes, we have got a fucking Hyper Bowl looming
on.
I fucking cannot be held accountable for a decade for shit that I say when I was fucking talking while sleeping. But here we are.
I fucking laugh about that. There's, like, TikTok comes up all the time, and there's this guy that does. He's super popular. He does, like, how do you pronounce this in English? And people from countries where English is not their first language take his challenge. And so he puts the word up on the screen, they say it, and then he says it correctly. And fucking Hyperbole gets all of them. Gets fucking all of them. So the Tigers won't beat the Dragons. So who wins out of the Titans or the Knights on the Gold Coast? You'd have to say the Titans are a shot for that one.
You should.
Yeah, maybe. When you're thinking about it that deeply, that they're all really shit, and there's no real answer.
Hang on.
It just depends. Like, who knows on the day.
So even with Newcastle losing both games, now here's the thing: the Titans have got the Warriors, which is a very fucking winnable game for them.
Considering the way the Warriors have been going.
So that's round 25. Yeah. So confirmed, Tigers for the spoon.
Wow, just like that.
Well, we've just done the ladder predictor, have we not?
Fuck your ladder predictor.
What's the differential on those two teams? Fuck, the differential's only 11.
What's
Is
that?
It? Oh no. No, the differential. No, sorry, 13. No, the
Knights
are the worst
296.
differential by lot.
Yeah, and the Tigers are at minus 235.
Why is my NRL app table not fucking... Yeah, your numbers are bigger than mine on the... Let me just refresh and see if it's...
Hey, so that's their difference.
Yeah, mine says the difference for the Tigers is 199, Titans 186, 224 for the Knights. All negatives, of course.
So the Titans are negative 198. The Warriors are negative 199.
Right.
And differential doesn't matter. The Tigers finish on 10 points. The Knights, the Warriors, and the Titans all finish on 12.
Well, there you go, Glennie. Time to get that one, print that out, put it on the fucking locker room walls, get the boys fired up for Nod. Anyway, this is Socials for this Newcastle game.
Jesus Christ. I know, we've spent a lot of fucking time on two games. Danny said, and Ponga's out again. Ben, so I'm starting to think the reason Ponga fails so many HIAs has nothing to do with concussion. He's just not smart enough to answer the questions during the assessment. Learn the alphabet, Kalen. Jai said, how most coaches would think, we already have JWH and Radley in our starting 13. Let's put some cooler heads in the rest of the forward pack. Robbo, Lodge, you're starting. Lachlan, retro round. Nothing says a return to the good old days like seeing Knights fans passionately cheer a try to take them back to 44-12. Oh, fucking great!
This poor form's bringing the Knights fans back.
Yeah.
To McDonald Jones.
100%.
The Raiders 26 to feed the Warriors 14 in Canberra. The Raiders tries to a double to Corey Harawira-Naira, Sebastian Chris with a try, and Albert Hopewade with a try. Fogarty 3 conversions and 2 penalty goals. The Warriors 14 tries to Murchie and Arcee with Johnson 2 conversions and a penalty goal.
Nice.
Impressive comeback from the Raiders 14-0 down at half time, and it looked a bit shaky, to be honest, but they complete shutout in the second half and showed some real fight and, continue to build a bit of momentum, albeit Warriors aren't fantastic opposition, but they were...
Pretty easy halftime speech from Rick, though. Just like, can't you play the Warriors?
Yeah.
Well, that's all he had to say.
Turn up.
Yeah.
I thought Jack Whiten Ricky's come out and endorsed him publicly about how he should have been included in that Origin squad for Game 3, and I thought he's
100% right, because what New South Wales definitely needed was more balls kicked dead at fucking 9,000 miles per hour, breaking the sound barrier.
Maybe he's just really his motor skills are more in tune with 40-20s, and he can't make the shift when he's fucking 10 metres out from the try line. He just kicks it with the same velocity. But if you take him further up the field, it's actually quite impressive. Kick 2 40-20s in this game.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
He just can't turn off the switch. This is how hard I kick it everywhere.
He kicked it into row 40 and knocked out 20 people.
Yeah, that's not what it means, Jack. Yeah.
A kickball. Anything else you want to add on this one?
Not me.
Nah.
Lovely. Josh said if the Raiders had gifted a decent side that half a footy, it'd be 40-0 and game over. Fortunately, they're playing the Warriors. Dominic said, fuck my life, we have to be the most mentally piss-weak team in the comp. Fuck you cunts for getting my hopes up of clapping Viking cheeks.
Oof.
But, it was a shame it fell away so massively, so quickly at the end.
Very true.
The game didn't deserve that. On to the next one.
The Panthers 20 defeated the Sharks 10 at Penrith. The Panthers 20 tries to Tungo, Edwards and Luai. Cleary 3 conversions and a penalty goal. The Sharks 10 tries to Tracy and Moylan, with Nico Hines 1 conversion from 2 attempts.
Fucking great game of footy.
It was.
And the Sharks did exactly what you need to do when you play Penrith. They came out, they were fast, they were physical, they played an up-tempo style of football, and they really got in the Panthers' faces. It was like watching, essentially two teams trying to play to a similar blueprint, but just one of them has been doing it for a little bit longer, and is a little bit more comfortable going the 80 minutes. Going that full game and understanding, well, that's fine. Whenever we score, we will score, and if we keep doing this, it will happen. And whereas Penrith went through the first half when they were behind, and they got behind early. Even with Moylan's no try being awarded as a welcome home present to him, which I thought was fucking lovely from Penrith, and was very generous of them to do that. But for them to then be able to go into the sheds slightly behind, to come back out, and to then just be 1 try in front, that was enough to rattle Cronulla. And then some mistakes came into their game. They seemed to go away from their game plan a little bit of just, try and play for field position and really get into a physical battle with them. And that's that thing that comes with maturity. But the scary thing about this is this team's first real year as an outfit together. I know a lot of them were together last year, but they had coaching dramas and all this other shit that goes on. And, Paul Gallen was probably hanging around the club spreading his fucking L vibes, as he tends to do with everything he touches. Mm-hmm. But they're looking like you wouldn't be out of place looking at them going, fuck, they're 2 or 3 years in together, like as a solid core playing group, the way they played together the other night. Fitzgibbon has done a fucking remarkable job with that side in not only getting them fit, because they look fucking fit, but in giving everybody their roles and understanding what's expected. Fortunately, fucking Fatakai can't catch, and will always be a fucking.
And the thing is, I
handbrake.
mean, you said they're looking fit, but I still think that's their weakness with some of those big guys.
Yeah.
That's why the game started, 20 minutes to the last 20 minutes, that's why it changed, because I think there's a couple of guys in that side that can't quite cut it for the full minutes at that kind of level of intensity.
And that's what I was getting to before. Whereas, if 80% of the team can play at the pace required, that's exactly where Penrith will get you in the back end of games. Exactly where they get you.
I think Penrith have and I'm interested to hear your thoughts, but I feel like Penrith have this aura now where when they play even the good teams, that Penrith are that fucking good and they've been that good for that long, that teams feel like, fuck, we have to be perfect to beat these cunts. And then when they make a mistake, as like you said with Cronulla, they made a mistake and then they made another one and then it unraveled. Yeah. Because in their head going in, we've got to be perfect to beat these cunts. And you make a mistake, fuck, we're not perfect. We've got to pick it up. And then they try too hard to overplay their hand, go away from the game plan and unravels.
Yeah. And, well, it's not a new concept. I think we all remember having our sides play those fucking superhuman seeming Melbourne Storm teams. Where you'd go down there and you'd be right in the fucking teeth of the game for 30, a full half, 50 minutes. And we're in this. But then all of a sudden, one mistake, bang, try. Another mistake, bang, try. And fucking hang on, we're 18 points behind. How the fuck did that happen?
That's right. But in contrast, Penrith went behind, and it's like you've said, and that buzzword again, patience. They went behind, they stuck to what they do. They played field position and possession.
Yeah.
And stuck to their structure and their system because they know it fucking works.
Exactly. It's that belief, and that belief comes with time.
Yeah.
And I think they got a sniff of it because, again, they weren't too far away. And what they have in Nicho Hynes is such a fucking smart footballer. Such a fucking smart footballer. He's probably turned out, and I know Reynolds has done heaps for the Broncos, but I reckon Nicho Hynes is the buy of the year so far.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Anything else you want to add?
Played more games than Reynolds too.
Shane said Panthers are really going to miss Coruscant when he's gone. He dragged them through this game. Also, Luai goes off after scoring the final try. Doesn't make up for him doing fuck all in Origin. Oh, Buttercup, he doesn't owe you anything. He's focused on the important things like winning fucking rings and being fucking injured for the rest of the fucking regular season. There's a story that got fucking lost in the mix.
Luai?
Gone for the rest of the season.
Oof.
Oh, he's gone to a finals, right? He's gone for 6 weeks.
Yeah, regular season, sorry.
Regular season, yeah.
At this stage, so...
Yeah.
That's going to be fucking interesting.
They're going to be hard to stop now, then.
Nathan, racism loses again. Lee, it looked for a minute like it was Penrith that was going to be eating a bag of dicks. Damn it. Man, you got to get some fucking Dairy Queen vibes, Lee. Just because your club's in a fucking absolute tailspin, never to become relevant again. Desperately fucking trying to scab players from wherever they fucking can to field a fucking team. Man, just enjoy the positivity of other teams doing well. Joe, so cream always rises to the top, baby. Speaking of, I need a fresh pair of Grundies from that absolute Panther masterclass. Suck my fat dick to every cunt on this page that doesn't go for Penrith. Well, probably...
It's not really a Dairy Queen vibe. I feel like it's very aggressive.
No.
Quite derogatory.
Yeah. Gus, so without Appy next year, they lose this game. Also, what the fuck with that Moylan try? You can counter any F up with a human error argument. What do you do here when he's clearly documented on video, yet still ignored? Embarrassing. Well, yes, as we were to find out later in the week, it wouldn't be the worst occasion of that happening. Troy, Panthers were not on their game, pretty obvious. I've been calling for Sharks' false form for a few weeks. This game showed it. Directionless in attack, plenty of stupid errors with the ball in hand. Hynes is not a halfback, would be a great ball running 5'8". Results have covered this up. Fuck, man. I don't know.
That's a hot take. That is a hot take.
I'm not saying he would be a bad fucking ball running 5'8", because he wouldn't be. But he's starting to turn into a fucking game manager.
In quick time too, given that he played several positions during his time at the Storm, and only ever filled in at 7.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah.
Moving along, the Rabbitohs for 24 defeated the Storm 12 down there. Not down there, sorry, at Acorn Stadium. God, it's like absolutely fucking like a record now, isn't it? The autopilot, the Rabbitohs 24, they had a double to Alex Johnson. Kalamatangi, Ilias and Polo also were tries. Latrell 2 of 5 conversions. The Storm 12 came through tries to Seve and Eremia. Meany 2 conversions from as many attempts.
Melbourne, fucking cooked.
Cooked.
And it's not so much the losses, but for me, it's some of the efforts in critical defensive situations from the Justin Ollams and the Eremias and guys like that.
Yep.
It's as poor as I've ever seen anyone play for Melbourne. It's fucking horrible.
It was very, very, very ordinary, and that scoreline is really a reflection of some relatively poor goal kicking on the part of Latrell Mitchell, and a little bit of letting them back, kind of when the game was well and truly won.
Yeah, it shows that when you cut through that first tier of unbridled fucking talent at the Storm, there's a fucking chasm, because you still had guys like Munster, Hughes and Harry Grant trying to get them over the hump, and it's sheer will and effort and skill. But the rest of it's just missing any cohesion that you would typically see from the Storm. And I don't know if it's just a depth issue or what the fuck. I've never seen them.
Well, I think it's that Melbourne's always had options. And no matter who you were, Bellamy would fucking swing the axe if you didn't do your job.
Yeah.
You know, and there are well documented stories of players who haven't had great games, but it's come out that, oh no, they've done exactly what Craig asked them to do, so he's happy with their performance. He asked them to do this, and that's what they did. It didn't come off, but as long as you do exactly what he fucking put you in there to do, you're okay. Now they're at that stage where they're potentially not a destination anymore, and I think that's on the back of the uncertainty around Bellamy. Because it used to be that if you went to Melbourne, it was, well, I'm going to Melbourne, and I know he's going to be there for 3 or 4 years. Whereas every time the talk of his retirement starts up, Melbourne loses a little bit of that luster.
Yeah, I think the Munster and the cheese stuff as well, I think that's had an impact.
Yep.
And it's probably taken a big chunk of the season to really manifest itself on the field. But I just, we've spoken even, several times this year about, that next man up mentality. But when the next man up is Dean Eremia or Grant Anderson, with all due respect, I think you're in trouble.
Yeah. I'd agree. But you know what? It's great to see, some diversity in the results.
Yeah, absolutely.
And seeing the Melbourne Storm become very easy to beat.
It's been ages since when was the last time you remember seeing a Melbourne Storm team get physically bullied?
October 5th, 2008.
There you go. Terry said, Storm in decline. The refs aren't even intimidated by them anymore. Purple cunts. Ryan, when the Storm lose, rugby league is the real winner. Michael,
damn straight.
He said, #Stormageddon, tearing the club apart. The hashtag finally living up to its true name. Well,
yes.
There you go. You were meant to bring balance to the force, Stormageddon, not destroy us.
Number 2 fan, Grover, you're destroying your own club. How's it feel? I say number 2 because I think Molly Meldrum or someone would be number 1, right?
Fucking Grover can drunk walker. That's it.
The Doggies, 36 defeated the Titans 26 down at Combank Stadium. The Bulldogs 36 came through a hat-trick to Josh Adokar, double to Matt Burton, and Jeremy Marshall-King with the other one. Burto 5 conversions and a penalty goal. The Titans 26 came through tries to Sexton, David Fafita, Sami, Herbert, and Jojo Fafita. Sexton 3 of 5 conversions.
Burton, Fox, and one of the best games I've seen from Jeremy Marshall-King. fucking dirty as I feel saying that. Set the tone for the Dogs. Scored some impressive tries. I think that the Titans were pretty poor to start the game. In the end, they did. It's another one of those games where the Titans did just enough to keep Holbrook in a job for another week. At one point, it was looking like it was a carve-up and he'd be fucking sacked before the final hooter went. But
it was about 24-6, wasn't it?
Yeah,
at some
it was
stage,
pretty
26-6, yeah.
It was pretty bad. But what do you think of the eye gouge, or the alleged eye gouge?
Well, I mean, when you're watching these things, when you're alerted to these things, and then you're watching it on the slow motion replay, it looked pretty fucking ordinary.
Yeah, it did.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it didn't. Was it to me? Was it as blatant as like something that we've seen from the likes of Josh Maguire or Hudson Young? No, but it was still pretty ordinary.
Mm.
What was the verdict on that one? How many weeks did he end up getting?
That's an
I
excellent
know they're
question.
running through it now as we're recording, because I saw the Finucane result come through, but I haven't seen anything come through about it. I know he got referred straight to the thing, so
It's literally going on now. So
those
it's
dodgy
being heard
fucks,
right now.
dodgy fucks from that Bega Marimbula area, like Dale Finucane, out there trying to fucking decapitate poor premiership winners. The thing I thought was pretty fucking ordinary was that the hair pull that went along with the eye gouge.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. There's that thing. Yeah, if you want to have long hair and play footy, sometimes it's going to get pulled. But he's fucking looking at his fist with a thing of hair in it, yanking it fucking down whilst gouging the guy's eyes out.
And he's looking directly. I'm looking at that photo right now.
Yeah.
He's looking directly at his hand full of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fucking hell.
So you're saying he meant the hair pull, but the eye gouge was incidental. The eye gouge was accidental, as he was trying to get more leverage to pull the hair harder. I don't know.
Oh, fucking love
Yeah,
that
it
shit.
looks like
Maybe you could argue that.
Waddell's getting torn apart by the fucking prosecution, though.
Yeah, good.
Literally,
Good.
I'm just reading one line here. Seriously, that's your defence? Question mark.
I can tell you right now that there's not a single Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs fan in existence that wants him to play another game this season. They're obviously not going to make the finals, so if he gets 6 weeks plus, that fan base will be fucking delighted. Just like the Manly fan base was delighted to see the back of the cunt last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he is an absolute fucking prototype of plotter.
So,
Prototype.
just to read, I believe in all honesty, my fingers are across the bridge of his nose and the bottom of his forehead. You're talking about a split second. My fingers,
The bottom of his forehead, aka the
his
eyes.
You're talking about the split of a second. His words. My fingers were never in his eyes. In response, looking at that photograph, the evidence isn't correct because your fingers are in the eye socket, aren't they?
Yeah.
You fucking dumb cunt. Surely you've seen that photo before you fucking walked in there.
When he means the bottom of the forehead, he means like the inside of the forehead that is only accessed through the eye cavities.
Yeah. I needed a fucking lobotomy done. So a fucking...
Yeah.
Jesus fucking
Yeah,
Christ.
look, Bulldogs started off the game great, finished extremely poorly. Titans were generally, quite poor the whole duration of the game. But like that Jojo Fafita looks like he's got a little bit of speed.
Hadn't he?
Yeah, so I mean,
I think the Fox had dropped it down a gear, but he still made up a lot of fucking ground.
yeah.
100%.
I mean, he was coming from diagonally the wrong way. So, what do you make of that Fox? I was gonna say, what about that Fox intercept? I mean, the first one, where the commentators couldn't get it through their heads about trying to say that he just sort of jumped early because it was that one. He was like the 1 foot on the try line, and then the dummy half was sort of had some indecision, and he sort of looked like he was going to go left, and then he changed his mind, went right, and the Fox was up there and shut the gate.
I didn't have a massive problem with it.
I didn't have any problem. No, I didn't have any problem with it. It's just weird that, like, once again, the decisions that happen in the game, some of them are just so like imprecise, I guess, that it just leads to that sort of
The biggest
shit.
problem I had with that...
like the terminology of like cleared the ruck.
Yeah.
And then people going, is that when the dummy half's touched it? Is that when he's picked it up? Is it like?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, having that played out when one half of the conversation is Steve Roach, it's fucking painful.
Yeah. It's unfortunate when you listen with the volume up, hey?
Look, I'll tell you, I still don't know why in this fucking day and age, and it's a good time to say it now, I was going to leave it to the Tigers game, but why there are not examples, because how much of all of this shit now is on the social media reaction. And we know that's a minority of fans in total, but wouldn't it be fucking nice if they had fucking nice little examples that you could go and see of what the rule is and how they expect the rule to be officiated?
Yeah.
And allowed, and it's probably, rough to expect refs to get all of this right, but you give it to the fucking bunker, like with a play the ball, right? Like the rule is that if you misplay the ball but then actually play it properly, if you save it, they can't call an incorrect play of the ball. But if you then go to play the ball correctly and miss it again, it's an incorrect play of the ball. I don't know. Heaven forbid they make things fucking simple for people to see. But it will probably end up just having red lines drawn on it and fucking posted on social media anyway. So
Yes, exactly.
Nice. Socials on that one. Scott, he said, I was at a game one week in June and accidentally told a Titans staffer they'd be lucky to avoid the spoon this season, and they scoffed at me. Who's scoffing now? Well, we're fucking scoffing at you because we just did the ladder predictor, and it will be the West Tigers. The fact they think they'll just fix this shit week to week is why I'm pessimistic the front office will ever fix itself. Derek, he said, all week I hear TPJ versus Tino. Tavita comes on, first hit up, it's nearly on, Tino's benched. They don't share time on the field the rest of the game, racking up 79 minutes between them.
Yeah, absolute cowardice too, the way that played out. I mean, I know that the Titans probably had, similar to what we saw from Freddie in the Origin. I mean, they probably had a number of, Tino was due to go off that minute anyway. But I think it's a hit to the pride though, where you go in there, almost comes to blows, and when it comes for your turn to run it straight, you subbed off before you can do it. Yeah,
that's it.
You would think that you'd sort of yell at the trainer like fucking give next set or something,
Yeah, exactly.
But so it didn't look good for Tino, especially when he was coming off the back of being the third man in and holding Birdo in the Origin game, and then with Pangai's comments about that he was going to stick up for his boy. As a fan, I wanted to see that shit.
Yeah, fuck
and I felt cheated because they didn't let it play out to its due course.
Exactly.
Yes. Jason said this game had a bit of everything except for the defence, that is. Intercept tries, a possible eye gouge, the crowd booing Tino every time he got the ball, team out to a decent lead, the other team fighting back to make it exciting and nervous last 10 minutes of the game. I wonder if the next game will be just as eventful. There you go.
Well, motherfucker.
Well, here
Jason,
if you had have changed your language slightly and said, I bet the next game is as eventful.
Jason, the fucking time traveller. Let's go.
Which takes us to the last game of the round. This one does appear as a membisode for the patrons at patreon.com/TWiL Nation. And for some reason, when we decide to sit down and do these, something seems to happen every time.
We've had some good ones.
We've had some fucking great ones. And this one was the absolute diamond of the bunch. Where North Queensland Cowboys 27 absolutely fucking cheated the West Tigers 26 up there at the abattoir. The abattoir of fucking integrity and sportsmanship in Townsville. The North Queensland Cowboys 27 tries a double to Nanai. Dearden Holmes also with tries. Holmes with 4 conversions, 1 penalty goal and 1 field goal. The Tigers 26 via a double to Brent Naden. New Brown with a try, Kapal with a try, Stafford Toll with a try, Dewey 2 of 5 conversions and a penalty goal. Glennie, after you, my friend.
Look, in the interest of Dairy Queen,
no, fucking
fuck Dairy Queen.
Burn,
Look,
ice cream melts, bitch. Burn that shit down. That's what I'm saying.
Look, Dane Laurie, I want to give him a rap. Probably the best performance of his time at the Tigers. He was fucking outstanding, and if that's what we can expect from him on the regular, he's I've been critical of some of his efforts heading into contact, but
the cunt weighs 75 kilos.
Yeah, he's playing in a fucking contact sport. So
did not shy away from contact.
No.
Did not shy away from what he had to do as a fullback.
No.
And not only
was
that,
in the right spot, well positioned,
backing up
back.
absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Anytime a half break was made, he was there, and the times that the half break was made and the player could deliver the pass. I mean, he could, obviously he collected it, and it resulted in West Tigers points or large breaks to the West Tigers.
Yep.
The other point, another point I want to make, and Nate, you mentioned it during the episode, and I found it really interesting, was the obvious change in the attitude from the Tigers, and how much it has to do with perhaps Benji and Sheen's taking over the reins behind the scenes or having more influence straight up than what people are realising, and or even at the very least getting in the ears of some of the players, because that performance and that level of application just fucking hasn't been there in large parts. Even some of the games that Noddy's coached already.
I'm convinced that they're shadow coaching at this point with no downside.
And I hadn't really considered
and potential spoon.
Yeah, I hadn't considered it,
but all this upside to get a running jump into their era,
Yeah,
and because these guys, because the thing is, both of them are around the club anyway.
Yeah,
so they only have to just be more and go to all the sessions, whereas maybe they didn't, in the past. But now I think that they're shadow coaching the side, and that and the certainty of what's happening next year in terms of the coaching, it must feel great at the club for that sort of just the fact that Benji's going to be taking that sort of
Yeah.
I think that alone is a motivating, or at least very least a Dairy Queen, vibe for the club to have going forward in what's been a terrible year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just accordingly.
Sorry, you go.
Go.
And just as you say, it's been a horrible year. You've had Madge get sacked, some absolute fucking diabolical performances. It's just straight up no effort games at times this season, under Madge and a couple under Noddy already. Ultimately, our best performance of the year to knock off the second place team on the ladder who's been flying was cruel by what I deem to be the worst decision in recent memory. I can't remember a worse one. I can't remember that many instances of the rules of rugby league being overlooked or glossed over or washed over in the space of 90 seconds. My take on that final passage of play, and I said on the member side, I feel like, and I could be biased, and I'm happy for you guys to give me your opinions. Nathan, you've already done so.
I've got fucking thoughts and opinions, my friend.
I feel like there was a slight change, I guess, in Kapoa's. If you tracked his line that he ran, but ultimately felt ran into the back of him, right?
Also, the fact that his line changed is because he is standing on the 40-metre line on the sideline, and he is running back, and he's tracking back to the ball that's on an arc, and he doesn't actually fucking know really where it's going until he does. He's just heading back in the direction based on what he's seeing. He's Laurie positioned himself.
Yeah. There was by the NRL's and the referee's own admission, there was a whistle blown. There was no penalty to be given at that time that the referee.
There was no decision to be made other than play on at that time.
Well, once the Cowboys put a finger on Dane Laurie, who was on the ground and had to caught the ball, and that tackle had been deemed to be completed, that's the end of the game. You then have the issue where the NRL have come out and said that yes, the captain's challenge was permissible, which is in direct contrast of the rules that had been laid out when the captain's challenge was implemented as part of the rules. And
in the NRL fucking rule book.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I struggle with it. I guess I'm probably not as outraged as some because ultimately I try to look at the bigger picture as well. And the Tigers have fucked their own season, if you understand what I mean, right? They've by way of some of their performances in the application of some of the players in the team, and the fuck around with the board and Madge and all the rest of it. For 1,000 reasons, the West Tigers have fucked their own season. So the fact that, and I don't think they will, and I think it's just grandstanding, but the fact that there's talk that they're going to take the NRL to court and potentially get 2 points back, so we might be in a position where we could say, okay,
that would change the fucking ladder predictor that fucking Stepdale was doing half an hour ago.
Okay, so we won 5 games instead of 4.
See, you're being very fucking defeatist about this whole
No,
situation.
I'm not. It's not defeatist. It's realist. Because
it doesn't matter where this sits in terms of what it does for your season. This is bigger than the fucking West Tigers getting 2 points. This is like you said, it was like the worst decision in recent memory.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll fucking clarify that a little bit further for you. It's the worst on-field decision of all fucking time. It's the second worst decision of recent memory. The worst decision, of course, was readmitting South to the competition. But I digress. Now, the thing is, every week we get mistakes from the referees and the bunker and stuff, and you live with it. I mean, because it fucking happens, and it is a situation where a lot of the times the rules are subject to, an interpretation from the person making the call, and they've got to make a call, and they make the call. And sometimes the majority of people think it's wrong. Sometimes it's like blatantly wrong because, for whatever fucking reason, it's happened a lot this year. But the thing is, this one wasn't a fucking incorrect interpretation or a decision by a referee on review. We'll get to that. This was a fucking referee allowing a challenge to happen when there was no provision in the rules for the fucking challenge to happen.
Yeah.
So why the West Tigers need to fucking do the court thing, in my opinion, is because it's not like, let's just use an example. It's not like the Canberra Raiders getting with the 6 again call being retracted in the grand final like 15 minutes before the end of the grand final. No points being scored by either side in the immediate aftermath of that. It was just a scoring opportunity they lost in the middle of a very tight grand final, right? It was it was an incorrect decision, but this was a decision that didn't exist in the fucking rule book in any way, shape or form. And you
ultimately
can't say
cost them the game.
Yeah, because like, how many times are we sitting here refs faulting about something, and then the next thing is like, yeah, but you can't blame that for the fucking 16 drop balls and the blah 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 blah.
Yeah, that's it.
This time, the decision happened. The game was over. There was no fucking.
One team was in front.
It was literally the reason why it happened. And if the referee had have blown the penalty and then the West Tigers challenged it and they lost the challenge with the same methodology that Klein used to make the decision he made in the challenge, fine.
Yep.
But that's not what it was. There was no fucking structured stop in play that allows a challenge. And so the challenge itself should not have existed. And therefore everything that followed that challenge should not have existed. And it should just be fucking full-time.
How did they try and shoehorn that fucking retroactively, saying that there's a short whistle and then a long whistle?
Have you ever heard that?
No. And the thing about this is that was very calculated NRL move to try and give them something by saying, yeah, the bunker decision was wrong. There shouldn't have been a penalty in our opinion.
Yeah.
But they're never going to admit fault on the challenge thing because they don't want to give the West Tigers anything that they can then use in their legal action. So they're gonna obfuscate and fucking prattle on and say, look, Graham Annesley in that press conference fucking said that the penalty for the obstruction for the escort was the stop in structured play that allowed the challenge to be made. Yet this fucking penalty didn't fucking exist. Except
until
for the fact that challenge
was
it's like this fucking challengeception shit where like the penalty can't exist unless that challenge is made, and then they're saying that because the penalty existed, the challenge was allowed to be made.
Yeah,
it's absolutely fucking comical the way that they got up there and spun that, and then made it about all these other things like the bunker's not perfect. There's all these complaints. I'm not complaining about the bunker initially. it's a fucking guy on field who made a fucking decision that doesn't exist in the rule books of the game that then allowed the bunker to do what it's done many times and make a mistake. Let's fucking backtrack 2 games. The Penrith game, 53rd minute. Nathan Cleary told that he couldn't fucking challenge something because it wasn't a fucking structured break in play. Literally fucking 2 to 3 games earlier in that very round, the exact thing. It's fucking mind-boggling. And now I'm fucking feeling all angry all over again like I was on Sunday.
Do you feel
I had trouble sleeping. I was so furious. Like it's because it fucking goes to the integrity of the fucking game as like a contest. Like where when this fucking ridiculous shit could get made up on the spot. And it's not just the West Tigers are suffering here. What's the fucking ladder look like at the moment? Who are the teams that are 2 points around the fucking Cowboys that might want to have a top 4 fucking finish for the season, or with seedings for the eventual playoffs, and so on and fucking so on.
Yeah, that's it.
It's an absolute fucking disgrace.
There are fucking ripples.
Take it to West Tigers take it to the fucking end of the line. And I hope they fucking win. And I don't think it's a situation where people are like, oh, you can't change the results of the game because it's such a fucking slippery slope. No, this is an extremely unique circumstance where we're not talking about reversing a fucking opinion bunker decision that was made.
Essentially, you have made something. You've made a decision that you weren't entitled to make after the result has been decided in regulation time.
And they're saying that Ashley Klein is like he's been the number 1 referee in our game for years. Yeah, he's the number 1 referee.
That's a lie.
I
have more of a problem with someone saying that than the decision itself.
If he was the number 1 referee in the game, he could have got that fucking bunker referral and gone, hang on a minute, I'm the number 1 referee of the game, and because I'm number 1 referee in the game, I know that this is a bullshit situation and you can't make a challenge here. So as a result, I'm going to use my referee discretion and say it's not a penalty because that's the way that gets the result that should have been if this dumb cunt on field hadn't have fucking sent it to me. Yeah. I can actually rectify this very easily.
Again, it's fucking simple. The bunker turns in like how many times do we ever have 2 games played at once? Does it ever happen?
Yeah. Well, yeah, literally never.
Never.
Exactly.
Literally never.
So then the bunker becomes 4 cunts and Graham Annesley. And they're all fucking trained on interpretation of the rules and what happens. And they sit in fucking bunker HQ because they don't need to be at the game.
No, that's right.
They do not need to be at the game. They need to have fucking state-of-the-art AV equipment. They need to have fucking little, para-referees, like paralegals that can fucking search the nuances of how the rules work.
Mm-hmm.
And then in fucking major situations like that, they've all been reviewing it. They trail the fucking referee by whatever it is, 10 seconds, reviewing the game footage, pointing out things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for fuck's sake.
That's not a hard... And that, when the bunker was first discussed, before it was even implemented, that's exactly the concept that was brought up.
Yeah.
A central point.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Where every game is reviewed by the same people, so you get the a consistency of interpretation and
correct
and all the rest of it. I don't know if you're being a troll or not, Jared. It's always hard to tell. But
the answer is yes by default.
Just you said you don't think they'll take the legal route.
I think they will, but I think it's fucking destined for failure.
I think they will too, mainly because their chairman is a fucking lawyer and he's also quite the egomaniac, and I feel like he'll want to do some grandstanding and try and make a point of it. I also feel that, and we talk often about the NBA, and could you imagine if the level of fuckery that's going on here, and then a team decides they're going to take the NBA to court? The commissioner is making a phone call to whoever's in charge of the club that's making the fucking legal action and saying, fucking shut that shit down.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
I suspect the NRL will make a similar phone call. I don't know where the Tigers take it from there.
Or else what?
Well,
believe
In
me,
the
public
NBA.
sentiment is 100% on the public sentiment is 100% on the side of the West Tigers in this case, and there is nothing that the NRL can do to other than batten down the hatches and fucking wait till it dissipates. Really, that's all they can do. And if the West Tigers maintain the rage and take it as far as they actually can, then
but what what law has been broken? It's going to end up in fucking court about contract disputes.
Yeah. I'm not saying necessarily going to win, but I think that they have to take it to the end of the line just to make sure that it never happens to my team.
Okay. So,
or your team, or themselves again, because it's fucking... Can you imagine if a fucking grand final... Can you imagine?
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing, though. Like, technically, not to want to give anything to Parramatta, but there was a grand final that was decided outside of what happened on the field by cheating. They didn't reverse that shit.
Which one was that?
The fucking Storm Parramatta.
What they do? What was the cheating to decide that grand final? Are you talking the same cheating to decide the 2007 grand final?
The Storm salary cap rorting.
Yeah, but that's not anything to do with the events on the field, though. The game was still played, and and this is what I'm saying. It's not it's not the same as that. And it's not the same as like a decision made in the middle of the game either. But this is a cut and dried situation where there's literally something like it wasn't a mistake that made to decide the game. It was literally a decision made outside of the rules of the game.
Exactly, I know, and I agree with you on that.
100% that it should wrong. be. I love to kick Storm as well, and I want that 2007 fucking premiership allocated to my side. Don't get me wrong.
But no, it's 2009, the Parramatta one.
No, 2007 they were over the fucking cap by 1,000,000 miles as well, man.
But fucking whatever. But okay, if there were
you give it. Stop saying 2009. 2007 came first. Give it 2007. Manly Premiers 2007. Hyphen stepdad, comma TWiL.
They will not reverse a decision, right? Will not reverse.
Look, I don't think they will. But I think, I just would like the Tigers to show some fucking balls for the first time in fucking 18 years and take this shit to the end of the line just to hammer the fucking point in.
The reason they won't do it, I don't think, is because it's not that they don't want to give the Tigers 2 points. Then all of a sudden, North Queensland launched legal action. Saying that no, to give them 2 points, you've had to take the 2 points away from us.
Yeah, which is the correct thing to do.
That's it. So fucking
and now here's I just want to like we often hammer the fucking journos, and journos in quotes, but I have to give a fucking shout out to Michael. What's his name? Michael Chammas.
Chammas, yeah.
He in that Annesley press conference. That cunt was waffling all over the place, trying to snake his way out, and started trying to make it more about the existence of the bunker and the usefulness of the bunker and the humanity and the mistakes that human beings can make in the bunker, and just getting it away from the decision to award the challenge. And that Chalmers, he just kept taking it back,
bringing it back. That's it.
I mean, the entire time he's bringing it back to the point, and then afterwards he did a tweet and said, "Oh yeah, look at this. The West Tigers definitely should have won because the laws on kicking the ball off state that the people have to be behind the line, and they're saying that Val Holmes was actually over the line when he kicked the ball, so therefore the kickoff was illegal, and so that should have been a penalty to the Tigers as well." And so he's, I don't know, he must be a Tigers fan because he kept fucking hammering the point, but I give him credit for doing so. Now here's a conspiracy theory, not a conspiracy theory, like a cheatery theory. That kick, you remember where it landed? Sort of around 25, 30 metres out.
This is my favourite part of your whole analysis of this situation.
When teams do a short kickoff, they do it the bare minimum 10 so their guys can get to the contest and make a contest of it and get the ball. On this occasion, though, the Cowboys kicked at 30 metres or 25 to 30 metres, a distance that no player can actually reach on foot in time to make it a genuine contest, to force the opposing player to spill the ball and try and have one crazy fucking... I assume what they were going to try and do is sling it out to Val and try and get a field goal to win it or tie it, take it in extra time rather than score the try. So they're trying to kick it into range for him. But the thing is, no player can get there for that contest. So I put it to you that the Cowboys, the decision-making process went as follows. We're going to kick it down to the 25-metre, 30-metre area. Felty, run for the ball, find the closest Tigers player, and fucking throw yourself over him in the hope that we can get an escort penalty, which is very kickable for Val.
And they do love a fucking escort penalty these days.
Yeah,
Fucking
exactly.
love an escort.
So I actually think that the challenge was the last ditch fucking thing because they didn't get the penalty on the field. But that's what I think the intent was the whole time, to just have Felt trip over any Tiger's body that was between the halfway line and the ball. Yeah. And find his way to find that player to trip over. Which just speaks to just a general lack of integrity. I'll tell you what, the Cowboys have been a good story this year. They're resurgence. Don't get me wrong. But man, they've become fucking Darth Vader in record time. and I'm sure that everyone wants to see them violate the salary cap or something that'll get them fucking asshole back to the bottom of the table with haste.
See, here's the thing. Like in this, I think all the anger at the Cowboys is fucking misplaced. Is absolutely fucking misplaced. Like what would you have done if the roles were reversed? And be honest here, would you expect Manly to turn around and go, no, we're going to fucking miss the conversion on purpose and just kick it straight into the fucking stands because it's the fucking right thing to do?
I was calling for Val to do that.
They are showing a lot of integrity lately. If it was Daly's decision. However, no, of course they wouldn't.
Exactly.
No, and look, if Manly did it, of course I'd be fucking like, I'd be making absolute fucking germ of myself, shoving it up fucking Glenn's fucking pee hole. Like I would have texted him 300 times since Sunday. Just like to remember when this happened.
Mate, of all the things you've said in this episode throughout, that is the most unnecessary thing for you to say. Everyone knows. You don't need to actually say, I would have made a germ of myself. There's over a decade of history of you doing exactly that for far less.
But look, I did enjoy what you said on the Facebook group the other day, Glenn. You were saying for how long did you say it was? For 40 minutes or for an hour or something. We were on the same side.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was. For a brief moment in time, we were on the same side.
I was riding the Tigers home.
You were.
In that game.
It was great. And you did. Well, I did say, it's the same Jay wasn't here to join in the party, and you said, I don't think you need that cunt poking you at this point of your life.
I was fucking wrecked for you, man. I was absolutely fucking wrecked. I was coming back from my niece's birthday party.
Yeah.
And was absolutely fucking wrecked. Like it was just
Yeah. I must admit, I was pretty fucking, I was pretty emotional on Saturday, obviously, not to make a massive fucking deal of it, but I probably struggled to see my kid in pain, but tell you what, Sunday afternoon I was like, yeah, fuck your ankle, kid. I've got bigger problems.
That's it.
And I got no one really to talk footy about here. And so afterwards, I'm so fucking 9 o'clock at night. I'm just fucking fuming on the couch. And I'm just saying, this is fucking bullshit. This and trying to fucking break it down to my.
I made Nicola listen to me. I was like, you don't understand this. She's like, you're right. I don't understand. And I don't care.
And so here's the reason I'm not going to do any fucking socials for that game. Because do you know what all of the fucking game thread was? Like, before that happened.
Yeah.
People fucking just wishing that the Tigers got out to a lead and then got fucking run down in the final seconds of this fucking game just to hear, just so they can pay $4.99 a month to hear you fucking implode.
I'm bringing the value.
I love all
and that
of
was,
you.
And that was a big twist then. That was the usual suspects twist. Glennie was just like, all right. And I'm just like fucking raging. Yeah. This is me that night after the dust had settled and I still had fucking calmed down. It was like that meme with the guy in the club fucking yelling in that girl's ear who's looking bored. That was me fucking to my business. Just like, this is fucking bullshit.
Oh, fucking hell.
Or the other one where there's the guy standing alone in the corner of it. It's like no one knows the West Tigers was robbed.
Exactly. And anyone listening to this, feel free to make those versions of the memes and put them on the group for everyone when I do the game thread for this one. So we're not doing socials for that one.
So that's it.
All right, now I feel like I can start to heal and give myself some closure on this fucking matter. Oh, that fucking cunt. What's that referee's name again?
I don't know. His fucking body freaks me out.
Torso.
Like,
Yeah, he's the Elon Musk physique.
but it's not. I don't know.
Is it even a physique? Can you call it that?
It's like some accident of biology.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, boys. That concludes episode 481. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you'd like to support the show, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TWiL Nation, where you get to hear the West Tigers, hear us talk about the West Tigers games live as they're happening, and you get the natural reactions of a man who's just seen too much and can't take any more, but takes it anyway. And and other things as well.
Oh, fucking hell.
Not to mention, like, and I'm saying it to you guys now on the show, and we haven't spoke about it privately yet. But it's fuck. I checked the calendar the other day, and it's getting to that time, boys, where we can maybe start to think about grand final weekend.
Mm. Jesus.
Making a return to Sydney.
Wow.
For grand final weekend. We missed out on 20. We missed out on 21. Thanks to the fucking dreaded Pangolin's kiss. It's still ripping around around the place. However, there's no states locking themselves down that are going to prevent us from getting down there. So I think, I would like to declare officially that the planning is officially open, and venues. It's been a long time. We were thinking of doing it. Well, we thought we'd be able to get it done in. I think we thought we were going to be able to do it in 2020, right? Because things sort of got past that first wave, then we were making plans, and we had people like Jimmy and people hooking us up on how to do it around restrictions and stuff safely with limited numbers.
That's right. Yeah,
and then,
like we had to make 10.
We bought I think we even bought flights, and then we ended up just getting a refund. Yeah,
that's right. I did too.
Yeah. So
anyway.
So, look, I guess we've got to revisit the plans. So, all the usual suspects who are listening to this right now, we're going to need a venue for the meetup for the Sunday afternoon from midday. We're going to need a members one for the Saturday night.
Yes.
And patrons, grand final breakfast as well for some levels there. So, hit us up privately with your suggestions. Because who fucking knows if the places we used to go to exist after being locked down? Maybe they folded, like too many good places up here.
Yeah, fuck.
R.I.P. Fat Belly Jacks.
Yeah,
Rubens.
Yeah, that's another fucking
Rubens.
bad one.
I'm glad we went there. I'm glad we went there on Magic Round that last year.
Yeah,
that's the only time I went there too. And I kept saying to Mrs., "Oh yeah, we got to go there and do this."
Is that where we had dinner with Sam?
Yeah, with Mezzy and that up at Paddington there. Yeah, they closed down like last week.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, look, here's the thing. Just my take, and I don't know how accurate this is. When that place first opened, the owners were always in there, as you do when you fucking start a business. You're
fully engaged.
And then as your business gets more successful, you can have staff in there and you spend less and less time in there. And it might have just been coincidence that the times we went there were the times they weren't.
Right.
But the quality fucking...
Yeah, right.
So...
Oh.
Like, you can't call
always have that
fucking
magic
Rubens.
round fucking Reuben sandwich burger. And the whiskey sour was delicious.
You can't call yourself Rubens and have up and down quality on your fucking Rubens.
Yeah. Fair.
Anyway.
All right. So that's it, guys.
Done.
The call is out there. We want to start planning for October. It's been too long.
Righto. Well, if these boys get the venues that they suggest up to us, we'll start on that.
Awesome.
Done.
Sweet.
All right. On that note, fellas, I'll be talking to you guys tomorrow for part 2 of the fucking diss track duo. That's side A, Ether. Stay tuned for side B, No Vaseline, tomorrow night. See ya.
Oh, I don't know.
We already did hit him up when he was talking about Brooksy the week before
That's
last. So
I kind of feel like tomorrow's Ether.
But no Vaseline also.
Ether's better than no Vaseline.
Yeah, but no Vaseline also has some synergy in like.
It does. It does.
That was the reason why I went with that order.
Yeah.
But it's a diss track week.
Fantastic.
This week in League, and we'll see you next time.
See
Later.
ya.